What's up, guys? Ivan here with getivan.com, and in this video, we're going to be answering the Quora question: is it true that 90% of the SEO industry is a scam? And if you scroll through this page, you'll see that most of the guys actually say yes, that the majority of it is a scam. Some guys say that, like this guy up here says that top 5% get 95% of the results. And I don't think that's true. I think the majority, and this guy, I upvoted this answer. He said yes, but 88% of statistics posted on the internet are made up, which is funny because obviously that's just an arbitrary percentage that person gave, and then this guy, the likelihood of this guy's thing is also made up. So I had the thumbs up that answer. um but I'd actually say that the minority getting the majority of the results is not exactly true. Now it might be just from the standpoint of what I would call fiefdom uh influencer sites, like news sites or super, you know, topical websites that do really well with their content. Most of the rankings out there are just content marketing, right? So purely from a content marketing standpoint, that's most of the success is just content marketing, right? And I'd say from that standpoint, most SEOs who focus on page and content, right, it's not a scam because you have to be really bad. You have to be like not able to speak English to fail at that. You really cannot fail at content marketing because if you're just building content, eventually you're going to see rankings, especially if you're doing long tail content and a little bit of internal linking. Like I've even given, like, in forums in the past, I've seen some, like, there was this guy I saw one time who he was from someplace in Africa, and he was really discouraged. He had done all this work on this blog that he'd been creating, and he felt like he wasn't having any success. And I just plopped that into one of these tools and looked at the rankings and saw that he had a lot of like things that were on page two that were just right close to hitting thousands of queries a month. And so he was having a lot more success than he realized. It was just a matter of time. And I think that's a really good example of the fact that anybody can be successful at content marketing. And truly, most SEOs, they they oftentimes say things like you don't need links to rank, and it's because what they're doing is on page and content marketing, basically just blogging. So no, I'd say most of the people who do that, that's not a scam. That's legit. You don't have to be, do anything special to be successful at that. But the more advanced forms of SEO, when it comes to on off page and link building, there is a lot of scamming there, especially overseas. Like if you're looking at Philippines, India, uh, um, Pakistan, some of those places. And it's more in Pakistan and India, but by far, Pakistan has the most scamming going. It's also some from Nigeria as well. And so there is a lot of scamming overseas, where guys are just like, I can do it, I can do it. They're just constantly trying to sell you, junk. And so that's why you have to be really critical of who you hire, and you have to learn how to evaluate the products. Like whenever I'm looking for links from vendors, like less than 2% of the vendors that I come across have viable links. And my main criteria is to find sites. Like I always request samples, and I say my requirement is they have to have keywords ranking. So that tells me that Google actually views them as a legit site, to give them at least some kind of ranking. Even if as long as it's in the top 100, if something's on the way to ranking, that's fine. Like it's got to have some ranking capability. And then I often look at the referring domain total backlinks ratio. If they have 100 referring domains and 10,000 backlinks, that's not a good sign. Or a much larger disparity. The closer it is one to one, the better. But of course, sometimes links can get stuck in like curation feeds in WordPress. So 1 to 10 is not out of the ordinary necessarily. Depends on the tool you're looking at as well, because some tools pick up duplicate links more. And I'm getting into the weeds here, but I'm just saying that if you're going to do the more advanced stuff, that's where you can come into risk of working with somebody or hiring somebody, having someone work for you. that doesn't really know what they're doing. And that's hard to hire for when you don't really know what to look for either. So you have to be careful with that. My recommendation to everybody is to do your content, blog, make sure your on page is great. You can hire just all kinds of people to do that. And then down the line, once you have some rankings and some things are, viable and they're close to achieving some of those bigger, impressions, then that's when you can go hunting for somebody, who really knows what they're doing in terms of link building. And so, anyways, that's actually, not to be vain, but that's actually what I focus on in my service over at getivan.com, as I focus on link building and reputation management. So if you have any questions, just shoot me a comment or shoot me a message. But that's pretty much it. Thanks, guys. Bye bye.